What do you got going on in here, Justin?
Yeah, I got in here a little bit early, so got to do my sort of pre-workout new ritual here. Got my Promethean bioregulator stack. So I should have all four. I'm missing one of them. Let's see which one I'm missing in here. There we are. The cartilage one. That's like the most important for me right now. I'm like trying to make sure these joints stay super healthy. So I take one of these for each. I do this usually pre-workout. I have a few of these at home too, so I don't miss. And then when I get home, I'll take the second one later on tonight. So I'll do these four, and then I'll grab about 4 or 5. Actually, I'm upping this up to about 5 creatine gummies, so that way I get my creatine monohydrate, and then I'll do my whey protein, and that's going to be after the workout, so I'll wait until I'm done to mix that. I like having it with milk, the whole milk, so sometimes I'll go to the convenience store over there. I'll grab like a little thing of milk and put it in there instead, because with water, it's like, it's still good, but it's just, milk makes it way much better. So, yeah, so that's sort of the plan for today. Like take all the things, and I have something to wash this down with, and then we're in action. So trying to make this a new ritual so I don't forget. I literally brought it out, didn't I? Did somebody steal it from me? Theft. Have you guys seen my LMNT? Cool. Good. Great. I think I lost it. Black cherry. Now I'm tripping, dude. Because I literally went in there specifically to get it from...
I know, I saw you walk out with it.
Interrupt. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt them, but... I was like, fuck it, I need my fix. I'm tripping, man. Where was it? How do you know me so well, Dylan? Jeez, can't tell you how many things I leave in the bathroom. Wish that wasn't true. We're back. Let's pick up where we left off, huh? Gotta start with some mobility here. So I have 2 different sticks, and they have different exercises that, one of them is really just to get that full extension and get those lateral lines to fire up. The shorter one, though, for moves like this, like pigeon, I like to have a prop for pigeon sometimes, because then I can also, too, kind of work on a little bit of T-spine and some rotation in there. Because I am thinking I'm going to incorporate some front squats today. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I'm going to teach myself to love them again. And that's just kind of what you got to do sometimes. Yeah, it's like, I wasn't a big fan of pull-ups forever, and just was like, you know what? I'm not going to identify with that anymore, and I'm just going to make pull-ups my thing. And once I started getting strong at those, it was less of a issue for me. So front squats are kind of in that ballpark. Either way, I got to warm up the hips. So 90-90 is great for this, for internal, external rotation, getting that stability. This is good for me, and my performance gets really tight. And I get locked up a lot. I tend to bow my knees out a bit. So this is going to emphasize that. It's a great stretch. So now the stick comes into play here as I kind of sit my hips down, so I get activity there. I can feel that in my glutes pretty good. Now I'm going to stretch it out with my upper body. Kind of lean into it. And then reach my arm to gain even further range of motion. Get a bit of a shoulder stretch this way also. And then we kind of alternate between the two. That QL again, I'm always trying to make sure we're talking to it, getting it to respond. So this is also a working gym, and we're going to share our music today, and I'm going to allow that. because I'm a nice guy. This length here as well, good for stick dislocates. Now the trick with this, and you're probably familiar with this, but a lot of people do this wrong because they're not keeping a super rigid core and their lower back supported while they do this, and a lot of times they sort of manipulate their posture to be able to bring the arms overhead, and they'll bend their elbows, they do all these little things to compensate. So I go slow and I create more tension. And how I do that is I squeeze and kind of pull outward. So as I'm squeezing and pulling outward, the intention is a little more deliberate. And I'm trying not to elevate my shoulders in that process, which is another thing a lot of people are guilty of. Adding some tension to the rotator cuff, which, as I highlighted in the last video, there's many ways to do that, and there's ways to load it, which hopefully you guys consider, because you're going to save yourself a lot of dysfunction and pain down the road, and you're going to create a natural cap to your progress. So, especially you benchers out there, okay? Any of you benchers that think that you're maximizing your lifts without really adding rotation in your shoulder and your programming, you're up for an awesome surprise. It's not going to go well in the future. Already waking up. This is good. Okay, so I also like to do some lateral movement here with a bit of, I guess it emulates more of a windmill. So what's cool again about the stick is it can kind of create that line for me and I can try and follow it. So I put it on the inside of my foot. I kind of slide down, hip hinge back. I'm looking up at my hand, bending it for tension. And then I kind of like to move in and out of position so I can mobilize it. There's that lateral stability there. While doing squats is important as well. There's my T-spine rotation. Skinning multiple cats. That's not a thing, is it? No, it's two birds, one stone, which we've altered that to two birds, one scone, I think was the PETA version. Hey, whatever you want to say. Oh, I'm kind of sitting back into it. Try to open up that chest, drive those hips. It's such a feel thing for me, especially priming. And now I'm going to do the opposite of what I did last time. So last time I did a loaded carry, but I was more focused on my overhead carry. This time I'm being a rack, heavier rack carry, just for a posture walk. So now I'm accounting for load. My body's going to have to adjust to all those little stabilizing nuances. So I'm going to go grab those. Turns out these wall mounts this is actually PRX's wall mount for the trap bar, and I repurposed it for mace bell and for these sticks, so that was a cool little hack, as well as these here. Those were for barbells as well, but work good just in case, you're a stick / mace bell Indian club guy, girl, whatever. That's a good answer for that. Okay. Again, okay. Reinforcing this rack position. This is always on top of mind here. How can I do that? How can I keep sending that signal and get my body to respond to heavy weight on my chest? Which is funny because this was a goal even when I was a teenager. My dad was like 6'7", close to 300 pounds. And his go-to move, because when we'd wrestle, he would just smother me. And he would basically lay right on top of my chest and I couldn't move. Until one day I could lift him up and reverse it. And that was a big day. I look at this as the same thing. 315 is my new daddy. Remember, slow and deliberate. So that's not too bad. We used to have these gold kettlebells in here that were like 115 pounds or so, which I always knew I was feeling strong when I could throw those around pretty easy. So maybe we'll bring those back when I've ramped it up a little bit. We'll get there. We'll get there. Slow, methodical steps, Dylan. Slow. Okay? You need to keep me accountable to that. No setbacks. My old me would have already tried 315 overhead already, right? No, I'm not gonna do it. Not until I built the machine. Round 2. So I show you my beaver face. It's a cue I used to give my clients all the time was breathe through your teeth. Like, what are you talking about? Helps me focus on staying tight, but still exhaling. So there's a few different techniques that we use to try and train clients on that. It's like a fine line because breathing can be a massive distraction if you're focused on it. And you want it to be natural as much as possible. So you're already naturally gonna kind of hold your breath when you have heavy things to account for. So now breathing has to be a little more deliberate. Otherwise, if we get natural breaths, you're gonna relax, and you can't relax. You gotta stay tight, and we gotta support the back. But it all works together. It's this big collection of things you have to do right. So it could seem daunting to beginners, but this is why we stick with the basics first, and we build upon that. What you see me do, it's basic intermediate here, this phase. We'll get a little more crazy as we go. Brace. And the dismount. I was training with my son. Between him now trying to learn flag football, it's taken a little bit away from his progress in basketball. And so, yeah, we spent some time on the court this weekend trying to just drill and get the perimeter shots down, get the free throws, three-pointers, get some of those like down low moves. See immediate progress when you implement very deliberate drills. So for instance, he started to learn how to box out really well for rebounding, and he led the team in rebounds. He got like 12 rebounds. And then the other thing we worked on was these pump fakes when he got the rebound to put it back up. So he was getting blocked because he's shorter than everybody because he's 6th grade and there's 8th graders who are like double the size, you know? And so he'll give this like pump fake, and he had one kid just fly over him, and then he scored a nice little layup right there. I know firsthand like what really helped progress me in the sport. And really, he's pretty naturally gifted in terms of movement and athleticism, but like knows nothing about the sport. So he's super green. So anything that we just take time, like parts of the game, it helped me kind of learn the game again at a different level, because a lot of it I don't remember learning. I just did it, and then I figured things out as I went. I thought you'd never ask. This isn't bad, pal. It's all right. I'm just going to crank up the notch. Did I say notch? Not. Was Cole in here doing these over the weekend? I feel like I saw a video.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite off of Cole. Shout out to Cole.
To be fair, I think he was biting off of you.
He was. I know. I was trying to be nice. But, you know, I like to see it. You guys into Beartooth? Great band. Well, this is one of their better ones, so I do need a little bit of energy here because As boring as these look, they're taxing. So we're gonna get like a good 5-second count here. These breaths in between are important so I don't pass out. I don't understand how people can work out happy or like to hip hop. I love hip hop, but it's like dance music. I can't like lift weights to that. It doesn't work. It's always been metal. Metal and iron. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Oh my God. Yeah, probably too loud for Sal though, I'll be honest. I'm gonna handle that before Doug comes out and yells at me. Okay, so I'm gonna get it a little bit so it's taut. Then we're gonna come up from here. Focus on engaging the lats. Eyes up, and then drive. So anybody struggling with the first part of a deadlift, this is a great hack. Include these in your program, or obviously deficit deadlifts are great for that as well. So you're continuing the fun of the most challenging part of the rep at the bottom. Yeah, man, you'd catch me in this mosh pit, 100%. All right, we're gonna do 4 sets of this, so I'll do 2 more. It's literally the only case I could make for having a bolted squat rack to your floor. Unless it was freestanding and you're doing a lot of crazy pull-ups, it could topple on you. But yeah, see, I told you, I even turned it down. I knew Doug would come out. So that was Dylan's fault. He turned it way too high. Sorry, Doug.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're just trying to record me.
Yeah. You're just trying to do your job. It's like disappointing your dad every time, you know? It's like, all right, one more set. Ooh, get a little eye poppage there, huh? That's good. It gets everything connected and fired up and feel like I can summon a lot of muscle fibers. That's my power. You can have that power too. I want to make sure I still get leg exercises, but it's not a big emphasis. I'm probably going to reduce a lot of the volume of leg exercises throughout this whole process, just really to complement my upper body pursuits with this. Once I start moving fast is really where I'm going to incorporate that hip extension piece. And so I want the triple extension part, you know, even getting lift from the heels. And so ankles, knees, hips, and then overhead. So, well, I guess knees, hips, and elbows at that point for extension. But all of that is this kinetic chain that I'm trying to kind of build up. So this is actually one of the first like hardcore songs. It was kind of in the era of, I think it was around like Filter and it's kind of the 90s. But this was kind of the birth of a lot of the crazy music I listen to now, which is like the Norma Jean and Under Oath and sort of that kind of crazy underground stuff. Wrist mobility. We're reinforcing our wrist mobility here in the rack position because it's been a long time. I used to have a really good wrist mobility and it just kind of, over the years, if you don't train it, goes away. But we want to get all the way so basically this barbell touches my shoulders and chest as I'm coming up and under. And then I don't have a whole lot of grip. It's just kind of hanging on my fingertips and rests on my chest. That just stretches them out already. I'm gonna keep the reps low and slow. Yeah, we're going sets of 1 to 3, probably 3, whole way through here. Gonna slap a little 25 on there next. Yeah, I had a busy weekend. My oldest was competing in gymnastics as well, and they threw a competition at their gym. He did really well. He got first place in 2 events. And so he did double mini and tumbling. He got first place. So it's a pretty demanding sport, but it's done a lot of good things for his athleticism and strength and ability. So it's been cool to watch him as well. But slowly trying to get them into weightlifting. You know, it's like a gradual process. Like, ask Dad how to get bigger. I got the answers for you. Yeah, all right. Ooh, you really feel that stretch, huh? Just kidding. Give me some glow sticks. I'm ready. We met, so this is Chevelle. We met when I was in college. We were able to meet the band because the bassist was dating my friend's sister, cousin. We went to Trinity. This is in Chicago. And I believe they're from Chicago. And anyway, nice guys, but they weren't even a big thing back then. And it was cool to watch their growth. And I always thought his voice sounded a lot like Maynard from Tool. But it was cool. We saw them a few times at this place called the Cubby Bear. And my friends were big bouncers there. And it was cool. Chicago's a great city for watching live music. It's like blues, especially. I was introduced to so many cool musicians that you probably would never even heard of, like Melvin Taylor. Go look at that. Melvin Taylor was just amazing to watch. Blues musician in that city. But I do miss, it's the only thing I miss about that place. Cool city, cool people, but I'm just not a city person. I'm too much into nature boy. We're going up. We're gonna try out 225 and see how that feels as our last set here. Because why not, Dylan? Everybody else will talk me out of it. I'm like, let's start pressuring the hinges a little bit. You're supposed to say, but be methodical. Okay, I'm with you on that. If I'm sore and in need of a hot tub later, I'll be calling you. Why about Woodstock, right? It's like the second Woodstock.
Woodstock 95.
Yeah, and I was always like, dang, I like, just because, here's the thing. Hate Limp Bizkit, do whatever, but they had the most energy. I would say like Rage Against the Machine and Limp Bizkit were pretty much in that like explosive energy with the crowd vibes, and their concerts, like, they throw down. So lightweight. I really hope one of these times I don't shit my pants, because that'd be embarrassing. You'd cut that out, right? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. All right, cool. So that's all we're gonna do for legs today. Now we're gonna focus a little more on our pressing. So I got 50-pound dumbbell that I'm gonna do some kneeling, kind of spiraling press. So I love kettlebells for this because back-loaded allows you to really get that natural rotation out of your shoulder and elbow, versus dumbbells, a little funky because they're so wide. Highly suggest this exercise. Did I scare your client away, Marcelo?
No.
Okay, good. Oh, look at that. Look, Sal'd probably be impressed with this, huh? I don't know. I went to one of Adam's shows. Actually, I went to a couple of his shows, probably like 3 shows. So I saw what happens in the back, you know. I know those guys rolling the tan paint on, and you know, it's a whole thing. Definitely wouldn't get me on there unless you paid me a whole lot. Okay, so we're gonna start. So we're basically turned all the way into the chest. I'm gonna try and keep my body as tight as possible, my hips extended forward. Use this to either press against my leg or at my side in a fist to create stability. And we set the shoulder, then we rotate it back down. Okay, minor adjustment.
Still lifting?
Yeah. It's a marathon, Sal.
How'd you build muscle already?
How am I supposed to get to my goal, dude? Unless I do everything.
Oh, you look jacked.
Before you know I will be waiting all the way. I wasn't a singer in the band, don't worry. You know what I thought would be like the most epic video? I saw somebody do it where they were working out and they had a live metal band like hyping them up. I want to do that, Dylan. I'm gonna recruit some people. And we're gonna have a live. No, I can't commit to that, but I want to. Okay, how cool would it be if I had a live metal band play for my PR day?
That'd be sick.
Right?
Yeah, you can do it.
Think I could make that happen? Was what people don't know. Your boy is about to put some stuff back on Spotify because I was late to the game. We kind of cut short with the band I used to play in. But thanks to the internet, we reconnected. And we play virtually now together, like some weird friends that, you know, I don't know. We should try the metaverse. Maybe that's the next place to hang out and play music together. But it still works. It's like we're almost hanging out, you know? That's a little hobby of mine outside of work. I like to pick up the guitar and jam and come up with new music. Really, I don't like playing everybody else's music. I just like creating and coming up with riffs. That's my thing. And one day I hope you'll get to hear it. All you guys. I'm gonna force you to hear it. We're gonna lock the doors. And Jerry especially. Like, she's front row. Like, crown seat right in front. And I'm just gonna play right to Jerry. She's into country, which we're gonna have to convert her a little bit. Okay, I just called an audible here because I wasn't sure if I was going to be taxed with my upper body stability with my back, but it feels all right, and I want to kind of rotate or alternate these spiraling presses, and also like I'm tired of kneeling, so here we go. All right, should I go up? Yeah, it's the last set. Let's go up. Now, how you gonna do me like this, Kettlebell Kings? I gotta get my calculator out. Marcelo,
Yes, sir.
what's 2.2 times 28? Okay. That's pretty close. We just did 55s. Or no, we did 50s. Yeah, sounds about right. Where were you? You're supposed to help me out with these kilogram questions. Some days you feel like you're crushing it. Some days you feel like a total tool. Today, I don't know, I'm somewhere in the middle. This lighting is great though, dude. Look at those veins. I'll be honest, this is the first time I haven't used anger in my lifts. When that starts to happen, I'm not gonna be talking so much, just so you know. Start getting the white ones up. I think those are like 85, 90 pounds. And the big beast we have is like 126 pounds, something like that. When I start throwing that around like it's a little baby, then I know. Then I know I'm gonna start pushing it on the barbell. Another cool one, once I work in more of the acceleration training, we'll do like a seesaw press where it's continuous movement where we're here and we're kind of pulling and pushing mid-range. Great for conditioning for the muscle, but also if I want to work on some acceleration there in my lift, I'll be doing that. I feel good, Dylan. I'm gonna do some dips and then we'll finish out with some lateral raises. So I just added one today. Sorry. But at one point I did hold the record at my high school for dips. Might have brought that up on the podcast as a subtle brag, but it was somewhere around 80 or 90, I think. And I also weighed $1 So meanwhile, my pull-ups were horrendous. I think I did maybe 10 if I was lucky, 8, typically. Anyways, this is one of my favorite exercises. Probably do this with weight, cut my reps down a bit, but we'll do 2 more sets. How long does it take you to cut these videos up? All right, yeah, I'm just totally winging it, so you tell me what helps. I'm actually gonna do 1 set of these. I'm not gonna get a little overzealous. Maturity. Just gonna keep emphasizing that. 12, here we go. It's like that was 10. Now I gotta do 2 more. Resty rest. Then we'll get our lateral raises in last. Hardcore exercise right there. Oh, I do love that exercise though. It just feels good. So this is that exercise that was it Arnold cues it pouring out the jugs of milk at the end. Get a little bit of that rotation at the top. Easier to do with dumbbells, but I know it's like old bodybuilder stuff that I'm like, okay, that works. It's a good cue. This is an appropriate song to end with. Oh, so a good thing to do is what I do at home to sort of slow down and get that parasympathetic response going. Static stretch. It just helps speed up the recovery. And a lot of times if there's like points of pain or tightness for what I experience in the workout, I pick specific stretches to address those static stretches to hold it out for 30 seconds to a minute, and just that's where you do this the sort of yin yoga approach where you're doing like really like breathing focus, slow, calming, static stretch that you're holding in place. So I recommend that if you get after it a bit in your workout to help speed up your recovery and keep you coming back strong and fresh. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll reconvene and I'll show you some more new cool stuff. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.